here we are at FaceTube TV with my cohorts, Mr. Kevin Craig and Stan O'Kane.
Hello.
We just went to the NAMM show last week and had a great time, didn't we?
We sure did. Boy, it was fun. I love that show.
Almost kind of tiring.
Well, yeah. All that walking, you know.
Not quite as tiring as probably those guys that played the Super Bowl on Sunday.
Probably not quite that tiring. Those guys really worked hard, I tell you.
Well, especially in 20 seconds of the last. They got a fight, big fight, in the last 20 seconds, which you don't see very often in the Super Bowl.
Right, yeah. I'm sitting here. I actually watched the whole game myself. Laid at home, no party, just watched the whole thing, including the whole silly Disney halftime show. And I that last 20 seconds was like, I'm watching a football game, and suddenly a hockey game broke out.
That's what.
You didn't like the halftime show?
I will say this. I was very impressed with the choreography of the lighting. Did you watch the halftime show?
I watched a good chunk
The choreography of the lighting, how they did those costume changes so fast and did those lighting scene changes were pretty spectacular.
I think Velcro is revolutionizing the costume-changing world, actually.
I think so.
And no wardrobe malfunction this year. And I'm missing that. That was 10 years ago or something like that?
They should have those.
They should have those more often.
They should.
Especially on Katy Perry.
Well, you know.
I wouldn't. Janet Jackson I wasn't so excited about, but Katy Perry could have had a malfunction for all I...
She's a pretty lady, that Katy Perry.
I was watching on Jimmy Kimmel last night that one of the guys in the shark suit did not know the dance. And they showed a clip of it. It was quite funny. He was just sort of flailing his arms around, not really knowing what to do.
When I saw it, I just started yelling "Land Shark." It was just the best. Where's Chevy Chase?
Do you think she was singing, or do you think she was sinking?
I'm going to say that she was singing, and she was singing. In other words, we were getting a live feed of her, but she had in-ears, so she was. Yeah. Her pitch was dead on. I will say.
You can have auto-tune. I have it at home, and then you can plug it into I have plugged it into my PA, and it works.
Wow.
Live?
Yeah.
It's funny sounding.
Oh. Well, I thought she did a good job performing. I wasn't that excited about the Little Kim thing, and
I don't like her. No, that's not Little Kim. It's
or Little
Missy Elliott.
Yeah,
I don't like her. I never have. I never will.
What's the read on her?
She's just some rap chick who raps. You know,
raps.
You know.
That's why you don't like
That's
her.
What rap chicks do. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
She raps
I'm
that
a
once.
Big rap fan.
I still have not figured out what she's saying in that song.
Yeah, you know, don't
even waste time. Yet, you know.
Right. Yes.
Well, maybe that's because we're middle-aged men.
That could be.
And we just don't know.
And we are Caucasians.
Well, but I got to tell you, I never feel so. There's been times lately where I feel really out of the loop, and I feel really square? Is that the word I'm looking for?
L7, yeah.
L7. But that music's not made for us. We're not supposed to.
No, that's very true.
We're not supposed to get
That's very true because it hits me and bounces right off.
Right, and that's not a bad thing. It's not for our demographic.
I celebrate it.
I celebrate the fact that that young people have their own music, just like we used to have our own music. Tom Petty and all that stuff, you know, that the Beatles and all that. And we had our time, and I guess this is theirs. But I'm not quite sure it's that. It's not that dramatic.
I swear to God, I feel like my dad. I remember, you know. Or my parents, I should say. I remember when I was growing up, when they'd hear like the Stones or whatever. They were repulsed by that stuff.
They called it crazy music.
I know. That's the Satan music right there. I tell you what.
We used to play "Bird Is the Word," and my dad goes, "That's crazy music." Well, actually, it kind of is.
Yeah, well, that song. Yeah. But
what if that song came out today?
The bird is the word.
You're at Capitol Records trying to pitch this new artist and this new song.
He's got this song about
bird is a bird, is it? Yeah.
It's really foul.
Well, there's a couple of songs that I can remember that I was listening to lately that came out now in the last couple of years that could have easily been hits in the 70s. Easily.
Okay.
I can't remember. I should have shut up before I mentioned it.
I was thinking if he's not going to say the name, he's not remembering what they are. So I won't ask him. I won't put him on the spot.
I was just thinking the other night, and I just can't remember. But
let's try to read his mind.
A man
no, it doesn't work.
In a time warp. That's the signpost up ahead. Well, you're crossing over into
I'll think of
the
it.
Twilight Zone.
I'll think of it, and then when we're on another topic, I'll just blurt it out.
Okay.
You guys will be just as confused as you
blurt.
are now. So.
You mean that's it?
I love a good blurt.
Well, back to the Super Bowl. It was the first one I've actually sat at home by myself and watched all the way, and I was rooting. Seahawks aren't my team. I don't really have a team, but I felt like I did that day.
Yeah.
And I was really pulling for those guys.
And they lost.
I was shocked at how they lost the game.
The stupid call heard around the world.
Yeah.
Now, at first, I didn't even see that.
Oh, at first, just moments before, the Seahawks had a beautiful play to get it right down the field where the guy. Like I was saying, if this wins the game, it's going to be the catch heard around the world because it bounced off into his hands while he was laying down. It was just something you'd see in a movie. Right. And then so you're going, okay, they're going to march in. They got the guy. They got the number one runner.
They got the train.
And they're going to go. They got 3 goes in, and they throw it. And the conspiracy is they didn't want the what's the word I'm looking for
other team?
No, I can't think of it now. I'm thinking too fast. The guy, the runner, he's too much of a radical.
Oh, Marshawn.
Yeah, Marshawn. He's
Lynch.
too much of a radical. They didn't want him to make the big play, so they threw it to another guy. That's what the conspiracy
really?
Don't throw it to the radical.
Well,
yeah.
they
wanted the cool guy.
Maybe he was saving it because they
wanted the quarterback to win the game.
Who'd they throw it to? Some Ken doll looking white guy.
They threw it to the wrong guy.
Okay.
That's what they did.
Well, that does happen, clearly.
Well, football's like that on any given Sunday.
So I've got to go back to the halftime show for just a minute. I got to give what's the word, props, okay? And I'm not talking about boat propellers here. I'm talking about credit. Lenny Kravitz. First of all, I thought he sang his Lenny Kravitz butt off. I really like him.
He did fine. Why was he singing a Katy Perry song?
Because he was with Katy Perry. But anyway, he was faking playing guitar because if you remember last year, the clips of Red Hot Chili Peppers and Flea, and they show that big red circle around where his bass isn't plugged in.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Lenny at least was conscientious enough to plug a wireless
into a belt pack.
Which it wasn't turned on, but so what? It looked right, And he knew his guitar parts because he actually, I could tell, being a guitar player, you can see where a guy's playing, and he was playing the right thing. So, Lenny, personally, I dig you, buddy.
Good job.
Yeah.
You did a good job. But Katy Perry getting flown around the stadium looked like that looked a little corny to me.
It was actually.
I'm sorry, that's
with the amount of infrastructure around this craft that she was.
Oh, that
the big kind of starting
tiger thing.
No, that was cool. The tiger was cool. The star with the weird kind of
I must have gone to the bathroom
horn
or
thing behind it was a little weird, and it just seemed like a high school play.
Yeah,
like some really high tech high school play.
Yeah, the thought was that's exactly. It looked a little corny to me, a little bush league. And also, I didn't think her outfits were that great. I'm sorry. I just didn't.
And that hot dog on a stick outfit.
Clearly,
hot dog on a stick outfit.
Clearly, the show was designed by a man of the other persuasion.
You're right. A real man's man.
But I mean, she just looked. She looked a little.
I don't think there's anything wrong with
a man like that knows what a woman likes.
Her costumes just looked a little homemade to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that the most impressive part for me was the speed of the costume and the scene changes.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. And the lion at the beginning was real cool.
Yeah.
Very nice prop. Everything else after that was pretty Disney. Yeah.
I stopped right after the hot dog on a stick.
Without the measles, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Right after the hot dog on a stick costume, I think I left the room or something. I don't know. I didn't see anything else.
The hot dog. Did I miss something?
Yeah, you noticed her first costume change into the multicolored.
Yeah,
you know,
that just looked.
It looked like a hot dog on a stick. You remember those places like you go to the mall and I never ate there, but
it's called.
But it looked like one of those costumes.
What is that? Okay, for 10 points, what was the name of that food chain that joined up with another food chain? It was called Orange Julius.
Oh, yeah.
And they joined up with the little multicolored hat people that served hot dogs. And there's still a couple of them around. I think there's one at the Westminster Mall.
It's not hot dog on a stick?
I think there's a name for the place.
Okay.
Is it hot dog on a stick?
Well, that was the name of that. But I don't know if it was before or after the merger with Orange Julius.
Maybe Katie actually had a little hot dog on a stick.
If only she were here to tell us.
Swing!
Well, there you go.
Well, enough of the halftime show. Enough of the Super Bowl. Stan's got some stuff he pulled up on Huffington Post.
Well, actually, I was going to talk about the really cute dog commercial, but that's too much of the commercial stuff.
Actually, that was probably the best commercial of all of them. I thought that one was the most engaging for me.
As much as I love Jeff Bridges, I thought his commercial was the worst.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one was that?
He had some kind of a metal bowl in a stick, and he's like,
Oh yeah, that was weird. What was it? I can't even tell you what it was.
I think he mentions it here in Huffington that he had
probably wasn't selling metal bowls.
He had reservations about that. I think.
Really?
Is it called The Giver, or is that his new movie coming out?
I don't know.
He says he doesn't like the last thing he just did. He doesn't like. And,
okay.
I think it might be that.
I have been a fan of his ever since Starman.
Yeah, he was good in that.
Great flick. I'd like for my wife to see that.
Your wife to see Starman?
Starman, yeah.
Okay.
I think that you should get on Netflix.
Okay. Well, I think we're rounding the corner here for a commercial break from our sponsor here on FaceTube TV. We'll be right back. And we're back. We left off at the last break, last segment on the commercials. A lot of flack for the nationwide people. It's like, thanks for bringing me down, and thanks for reminding me about my son who passed away when he was 5 years old.
That's great. Yeah.
I think their response was, "Hey, we weren't trying to sell insurance. We're just trying to get people to think," and it worked.
Well, yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, somebody's going to bitch about it.
True.
I mean, you could be giving puppies out to homeless children, and someone's going to
find something
I've
wrong
done that
with it.
before, actually.
Yeah.
Well, and people complained, didn't they?
No, they certainly did.
A certain faction.
Well, I was giving them out while I was driving the car.
Oh, well, okay, I get it now. And you can only fit so many
them out the window.
You can only fit so many puppies in a Yugo.
Hey, you know what? You never know with those puppies. I mean,
they bounce good.
Yeah, and they can be troublemakers.
Okay, this is all because we all love animals and would never bounce a puppy up.
Yeah, I love dogs. I love my dog.
Yes,
let's put it that way.
Stan's dog is actually well known among his friends. Everybody knows his dog Skeeter.
Yeah, he's famous in 4 states.
Yes.
Well, here's Jeff Bridges. Okay.
Oh. Well, what's it say
Is
about
he
Jeff
ringing
Bridges?
the bowl?
Oh, it's his new movie he doesn't like. I guess he likes his new commercial. His new movie, Giver, is coming out.
They're called books.
Hello. My name...
I know who you are.
Yeah.
And he has lots of regrets about it.
Well, that's too bad.
Well, there's a career that's on the upswing.
Hey, I'll forgive him. He's done so many movies that I love.
Did you see R.O.P.D., that last one he did?
R.O.P.D.?
R.I.P.D.
No, didn't see it.
Yeah, well, a lot of other people didn't either. So,
Now, you got to earn that.
Yeah, he's done so many good ones,
Yeah, he has.
I mean, the Big Lebowski.
But the old King Kong. How about 76 King Kong? Wasn't one of them.
How about that music movie he did, Crazy Heart?
That was good.
I love that.
Was he the psychiatrist in K-Pax, correct? Or was that his brother?
That might have been his brother.
Not remembering that movie. I hate when my lips.
That was
stick together
Jeff
like
Bridges.
It was?
Jeff Bridges or Bo?
Bo
Bo is his brother. Bo Bridges.
I think it was Bo.
Remember
Never
they
mind.
did the Fabulous Baker Brothers together.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that was his movie right there.
Yeah. With who was the young lady? Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, and his brother.
Yeah.
Bo.
Two Bridges and a Pfeiffer.
Mm-hmm. And they it was a great movie. It's a little too close to home for me, but
it's been so long since I've seen it. I remember two pianos. I remember tuxedos and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah,
that's what I remember.
And yeah, Jeff Bridges just hated the whole club thing and having to be cornpone like his brother. He wanted to be a jazzer. Yeah.
Well, you talking about Bo?
No, in the movie Jeff did.
Oh,
remember he hated he
right.
didn't hate it, but he's sick of doing all the cat skills and he thought, about the time that that movie came out, I was pretty sick of playing clubs too.
Yeah.
So
30 years ago.
So he decided to get out, but then
it's on the upswing.
Things are cyclical, You come back sometimes.
Oh yeah, you're exactly right.
I'll be back.
Right.
Yeah.
I like it. I like that word.
Thank you. I pulled that out of thin air.
Well, I'm glad you did. There's other places you could have pulled it out.
There are.
I'm really glad it was thin air.
And so no one heard this sound. Boy.
Well, there you go. There's our show. Circling the bowl.
Hey, we're not done yet. We still have other things to talk about. Anybody want to talk about ISIS? Because we could. I mean, we could touch on that for a moment.
We could touch on it.
Ice, baby, ISIS.
Ice, baby, ice.
Yes.
Okay, well, there's no ice in this story. They took some time and had a extremely well-produced video of burning a guy to death. I guess they had music to it and everything, and they had little film clips up to it. And
next thing you know, Katy Perry's agent's going to say, "Hey, can I be part of that?"
Yeah, she can put her hot dog and stick uniform. We can burn her. But here's the point: they really wanted to piss everybody off, and they did.
Oh, they're totally succeeding in doing that.
Is it Lebanon? Where the hostages are, I think it's Lebanon. Where
Jordan.
They have this.
They have a bunch of ISIS hostages, and they're going to kill all of them tonight.
Well, they have.
They've got ISIS hostages.
Yes.
Well,
they were negotiating it. If it's
an exchange, right? It's Jordan.
Well, there's
Jordan.
There was I'm sorry, but there was a lady of failed suicide bombing,
right?
And they wanted her back. I think they're going to kill her first.
She was going to go into a not a preschool, but something like that, where little children are, and
blow everybody up.
Suicide bomb herself and all the children. So I hope that she dies a slow, painful, agonizing, horrid death.
There's not a hell hot enough.
No, true that. But
well, the pilot they've already offed anyway. Was that the guy they burned?
Yeah,
yes, that's the guy they burned.
Okay.
But from what I hear, and Kevin and myself, we decided we're going to boycott the video. And,
I can't watch it.
I'm not going to watch it.
It's not actually on the internet still, is it?
I don't know where it's at, but enough people have seen it and said that they have like music and stuff to it.
I think it's on the outer net.
Like it's kind of
celebratory kind of thing.
It's very produced for that type of thing,
Sick.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I guess it's like a little 3.5 minute music video type thing, from what I understand.
Again, I feel like one of my parents or both of my parents simultaneously saying, "What is this world coming to?" Unbelievable, man.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for us today. Thanks for joining us here. We hate to leave on such a dark note, so let's go out with a splash. The record stuck. The record stuck.
The records. Remember that band?
What's Claire going to think?
Claire with the hair.
What would she think about all this?
Oh, she'd think it was bloody wonderful. It's so unique. Everybody's their own unique, wonderful self, and just be who you are.
I feel as though I will change my name to lowercase t, lowercase t-o-n-y.
Two small t's?
Two small t's. Like she had.
It's an English thing.
Yeah.
Tony.
Yeah. Why not? All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Join us next week here on FaceTube TV.
See you then.
I'm Tony.
I'm Kevin Craig.
And I'm Stan O'Kane.
We'll be back next week.